Back in the 1970s, there was the me generation. Then last year, Oxford Dictionary named selfie word of the year. You know, it's that word to describe the popular practice even the Pope gets into of taking pictures of yourself alone or with others. And this year, a selfie offspring made the top words of 2014. Joining me with more words and phrases of the year is my guest, lexicographer Grant Barrett, co-host of Public Radio's Away with Words, which airs Saturdays on KPBS Radio. And Grant, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, what does it take for a word or a phrase to make it to your top list?
Well, we all have to be talking about it, for one thing. We also need to have it be used frequently, and it has to represent our preoccupations, our mood, our sentiments, or even just the events of the year.
So on the 2014 list for the top words, let's start with a selfie stick. What is it, and how did this grab your attention?
This is a telescoping rod that you bring with you so you can attach your camera onto the end, and you hold it out like this so that you and your friends can get in a shot with a lot of background. You might take it on a trip, a once-in-a-lifetime trip, say to the Great Wall of China, so that you don't miss any of those crucial shots with you clearly in a famous place.
And another word that piggybacked on last year's word, vape, meaning you inhaled vapor from e-cigarettes, comes the phrase cloud chase.
Yeah, cloud chasing is kind of a stunt where you try to make shapes or fill a room with your vapor. It's a thing that guys do to be competitive with vaping and smoking e-cigarettes.
And there's a lot of smoke that can come with that.
Tons of it, yeah. You can fill a room.
Some of your top picks actually were in the news, like Umbrella Revolution and Ice Bucket Challenge. What made them stand out?
Umbrella Revolution really had some significant images with it. We had these protests in Hong Kong where the people of Hong Kong didn't like the new rules that the Chinese government was putting in place. They gathered in a public space, and they used these umbrellas as a way to capture the attention of the international press, and it was very effective.
An ice bucket challenge.
An ice bucket challenge. We all saw these videos, probably had friends and family doing them, where it's a fundraiser. You challenge someone to either pour a bucket of ice water on their heads, or to pour down, or if they can't do that, to give money and then to challenge somebody else. So it's kind of like a chain letter. It gets passed to person to person to person in order to raise money for a charity.
And it certainly did. Do you happen to have a personal favorite this year?
Well, I don't know about a favorite, but there are two that I like, and they're different ends of the serious spectrum. And one of them is Ebola. I think that the significance of Ebola this year can't be understated. We saw this massive disease. We saw a massive response to it. And then the other one is emoji, these little special pictures that you can use in texting or email or online messaging in order to communicate a complicated idea with a single glyph. And
coming back to the Ebola side, on the serious side, Time Magazine, People of the Year, the workers on helping with that. Now, I recall a word, metrosexual, that made it to the mainstream a while back. But this year, there's a word, lumbersexual. What is this?
So lumbersexuals, like metrosexuals, take very good care of their appearance. They may spend a good deal of money on clothes and hygiene and getting somebody to fix their hair. But lumbersexuals probably look like a lumberjack. They have a beard, they might wear flannel, expensive jeans, expensive boots. So they're not just throwing clothes on, they're spending money, time, and care in order to really perfect this experience of being a masculine man.
And I want to come back to, you mentioned emoticons or emojicons, as people call them, a word that really actually needs to be seen in order to understand its definition. What is a smug shrug?
So it's another emoticon. You take punctuation and make a little picture in the text line that represents an idea. And in this case, it uses ordinary punctuation and a Japanese character to be eyeballs and a mouth that looks like somebody doing this, holding their hands out like this. And it means, oh, well. It's kind of a way of showing that you are resigned to whatever the situation is, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I wonder if that's used a lot in business. Now, is this the first emoticon that has actually made your list?
Yes, it has. Yeah, it's the very first one on my list. It was huge this year. I even saw it in headlines, not from the New York Times or anybody like that, but some of the online publications.
All right, well, there are so many words in so little time. We are out of that time, and I just want to say thank you so much, co-host of Away with Words, Grant Barrett. Your show airs here on KPBS Radio on Saturdays. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.